Greetings, fellow masters, and we are back once again, a little late, but of course we could not miss covering this. This is, of course, our review of Fate Strange Fake, Episode 10. So, as per usual with these episode reviews, we will be recapping a bit of the plot of the episode, not the entire thing, but just kind of the things we want to focus on, and then kind of give our thoughts all throughout as we go through it. As per usual, we'll be going into spoilers, so if you have not seen the episode yet, do yourself a favor, watch the episode first, then come back here and tell us what you thought about it in the comments down below. Alright, so, first things first, moment of silence for our man, the myth, the legend, the king of heroes, everybody's favorite golden fuckboy, Gilgamesh, has exited the stage. Rest in peace. So, let's just start by talking about that, because that seems to be like the big point of discourse with this episode. I feel like it was valid. I feel like this was a valid takedown.
Yeah. I agree with that. It was like Gil was busy fighting with Richie, and then Alcides decided to join in the fray because he was done with his fight with Jack.
Mm-hmm.
Took from hell from him. But the plan that they formulated was a smart one, at least with Alcides. That tail end, which, great plan. It just didn't work out as well as they intended.
Oh, yeah.
Because humanity being the counterbalance for the Nemean lion pelt. Like, anything created by man cannot harm that pelt.
Yep. And since those false noble phantasms were technically created by human hands, they were engineered, it doesn't work out.
Yeah, but back to Gil's fight, then Alcides came in, shot 9 lives, which, in the form of the Hydra,
yeah, that was sick. That was sick.
And then Ishtar doing Ishtar things and just trying to roast this man by taking his key. That is wild.
Which I gotta say, like, it's definitely, I think, with it makes sense for Ishtar. You know, if you're familiar with the Epic of Gilgamesh and with Ishtar and Gil's dynamic in Fate, they've always had a petty beef with each other, and I think, you know, Ishtar prioritizing taking out Gil makes a lot of sense.
And here's my thing. I think a lot of the discourse for his hubris comes from is because he didn't want the key anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's that part of him just at, like, his own...
Just kind of casually tossing it away. I mean, yeah.
Led to his defeat. That part I can understand, but for everything else, he didn't throw.
Yeah.
He wasn't vain. He was just acting like himself. It wasn't anything extra.
It wasn't like Gil nerfed himself on purpose and was like holding back the entire time. He was giving it full force.
Yeah, and he was just, much like any other heroic spirit that's the most powerful on the board. I mean, out of the fake servants, he's one of the most powerful ones on the board.
Mm-hmm.
He just fell into his own personality faults in the Nasu burst, and that's how he got caught by Hanaba. That shoot a big fuck you sunbeam at him.
Which, to be fair, Hanaba was already a hard counter to Gilgamesh if you follow the myth in the first place.
Yeah, it took him and Enkidu to beat that thing.
And, you know, with Clay nowhere in sight, Gil didn't...
He did protect Gil.
Yeah.
For at least a little bit.
For like a split second, yeah.
Yeah, but it's wild to just see Tina just lose her mind with Gil just dying like that.
I mean, she's built like a very strong connection to Gil, and she's kind of put all her hopes into him, and like really looked up to him. as a servant. I think it's a really interesting kind of contrast to look at Gil's different masters and see what they've got from him.
Yeah, and
You know what I
if
mean?
you notice, we saw the Hollow Ataraxia version of Gil, which is Kid Gil, in that flashback.
Yep.
And I am just utterly amazed that Kirei, like, the two masters that Gil has had in previous wars, which means that the fourth and the fifth Guerrilla Wars have happened in this part of the kaleidoscope.
Yep.
So it would make sense for
Yep. So
Kirei
and Tokoyomi.
and
Yeah, Tokoyomi.
Tokoyomi. Like, Tokoyomi did revere Gil to some extent, but Tokoyomi does Tokoyomi things.
Yeah, he was an unworthy master in Gil's eyes because he didn't kind of like match up to Gil's standards. Whereas Kirei amused Gil because Kirei had ambition, had like grander goals.
Something was hidden within Kirei that Gil saw, that Kirei didn't see for himself when he was younger, but then molded into like being an evil monster.
And the way
In later years.
and the way Gil saw it, from his perspective, is that Kirei would be the necessary evil to bring out the next heroes within humanity, and so that's why Gil decided to side with Kirei.
Yeah. But then seeing Musketeers Masquerade is actually one of my favorite noble phantasms out of like all of the Nasu-verse within the Kaleidoscope, because it's a very fascinating one.
Mm-hmm.
It plays on, like, if I remember correctly of how this works, it works on the notion of the hero's journey in the fact that since Dumas wrote a story about heroes that he can kind of manipulate the hero's journey. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I like that it works to basically circumvent things.
Yeah.
That it is used to manipulate a narrative.
Yeah, it's a little, it's like how he explained with like altering logic to kind of like, again, work a particular narrative to like match like the hero's journey, and you know, having him help it use it to help boost Flat to, you know, help take on Alcides was really interesting.
Yeah, and using the bait and switch for basically having Jack copy Flat was a smart move.
Mm-hmm.
And the biggest shock, at least to me, and to you, good old John. You
Yeah.
lived. What?
I can't believe he actually survived that, and he still was able to get in a good hit. I mean, obviously it didn't pan out, but still,
Yeah.
kudos to him, regardless.
Yeah. But I think I figured it out. It was a Jack clone.
Mm-hmm. It was a Jack clone.
Yeah, that makes the most sense to me now I think about it. That John was a Jack clone.
Now
I really playing it out.
Now I do
Really?
I do want to address the other thing that a lot of people have been talking about with Strange Fake lately, that they feel like it's been rushed. Now, they did fit a lot of content from the from the novel's chapters into this one episode.
Mhm.
But I do feel like this is pretty well paced, especially because, like, now I know it's not confirmed yet, but like, I am like 95% sure this is gonna get a second season. Now, if we're under the assumption that this is all that we're getting, then I will be inclined to agree that the show overall has been rushed. But with the way they're pacing it, it feels like they're setting up for a second season.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that.
And there's enough material within a light novel to still be, for them to still be able to keep going for at least another 12 more episodes.
Yeah. And the reason probably why we don't have like another core is that since the light novel is still continuing, it hasn't finished yet, they want to make sure that at least the more accessible
Mm-hmm.
parts of the light novel are still, at least they can adapt that until they can actually get to the rest of the light novel when that's finished.
And with how production goes, it's gonna take at least a year and a half, maybe even two, to get the second season done. And by then, I'm sure there'll be enough out to do more, and maybe even have a 2-core season. But
Yeah.
I also think the reason this was only 1 core was because so much was used within animation. I know a lot of people like tried to shit on this and call this just Fate Aura slop, but like, it's so well put together and the animation is so well done. If this quality of action and animation means that we get less episodes, I'm cool with that, honestly. Because also think about it like this, you guys. We also got the episode 0, which was over an hour.
Yep. The Whispers of Dawn.
Mm-hmm. So, like, that should be taken into consideration as well. They made basically a whole OVA.
Mm-hmm. Basically, it's like a test primer.
Mm-hmm. So, you know, if they keep with it, like within this like framework, I think it'll be fine. Like, pacing wise, I don't think it feels nearly as rushed as people claim it to be. Especially if you look back at previous other Fate series like Apocrypha and how that second half was handled.
Mm-hmm.
And even stuff with longer run episode numbers like Babylonia. Babylonia itself was very rushed towards the end.
But at least with how everything is paced in Strange Fate, since they had a good chunk that they wanted to adapt, they actually had time to go through that process.
Mm.
Because the biggest battle that I kind of knew that they were going to adapt, because it's the most finished up, is this fight, is this battle in the basically in front of the hospital of Snipfield.
Yeah, this is the big centerpiece.
Yeah, for this entire, because it will get more episodes. That much I do know. It's just for this particular bunch of episodes that we'll be getting. Because with it, I think with Strange Fate being the way that it is, because production-wise, we had those like big gaps in any sort of content for Strange Fate, because we had Whispers of Dawn, and then we were under the impression that we'll get like episodes yearly.
Yeah.
So, and then when we were surprised that we were jumped down to weekly, and that we're just getting a good fight into the battle in front of the hospital, I'm thinking that once more of the light novel is finished, we can actually get to further fights, because we don't know other aspects of the other hero experts, be that the true and the fake ones.
Yep.
We only have one servant death on the board right now, which is Gills.
Mm-hmm. And there are 13 other, well, technically 12 others now. Oh.
Yeah. And the one thing that and having a previous heroic spirit, that being Gil from other wars being the first one to get eliminated, I think
it sets the bar, because, you know, Gil is kind of like a good measuring stick. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I know Gil fans are upset. The King of Heroes was the first one out. People calling him the King of Jobbers. He didn't job.
Yeah, he was taken out by methodical strategy by one individual that was really out to kill him, because he wanted to. Because I really think that Alcides wanted to take Ea for himself.
Yeah, and you also got to think about that scale. She had to take him out before Alcides took Aya. If Alcides took Aya, it's just game over. Nobody he wins.
Yeah. Full stop. He would win that war. But since that's taken off the board, the only thing that Alcides has plundered as Avenger is From Hell, which is just a bounded field, Noble Phantasm. Nothing else is going to... He's still the most powerful servant on the board at current. And then with the alliance of Pale Rider and Jester, it's still going to be dangerous. And then we have the other players like Hippolyta and
Enkidu, Richie.
Enkidu. We have what the Prelades are going to be doing.
So there's still a lot of moving pieces on the board.
Yeah. And we still haven't gotten to the thing with our boy Flat, which will happen in this particular part.
Yep. And we'll ultimately see what happens to him.
Yeah, which... Other than that, I really have been enjoying Strange Fake as a whole. We have 2 more episodes left.
Yep.
And I'm going to be eagerly anticipating what's going to happen next.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely over the moon about this. It has been years since we've gotten like consistent good Fate content, so I'm just happy to be here, to be honest. Like, I know, you could be very particular when like dissecting the source material, and like, Fate adaptations have never been particularly good, but you also have to realize the key word in this is adaptation, right? Like, we can't have everything, otherwise this would take forever. Like, you have to realize the amount of quality we're getting with this. We wouldn't be able to get this if we didn't have to chop out a lot of the stuff that, yes, a lot of us lore nerds find super interesting because we love to deep dive into all the minutia and bullshit that's within the Nasuverse. But like, you also have to keep in mind, this is an anime. Like, that works in a light novel because it's a novel. You can fit that in there. You can't put this into an anime that's supposed to be much more kinetic and like more briskly moving. But yeah,
that much I agree.
Overall, really good episode.
Yeah.
And I cannot wait to see these final 2 and how this end of the Snowfield Grail War wraps up. But I am very confident that A1 is going to give us more, because it's been so popular and it's caused such a big resurgence among the community. They'd be stupid to just let this go. So I have faith in it. So you just gotta hang in tight, Fate fans. I think we're gonna get more for sure. Gotta be more optimistic. I know they've let us down in the past, so a lot of us are skeptical, and I totally understand that. But like, be on the optimistic side, man. I think it'll do you a lot better. But yeah, that's pretty much it for our episode review for this week. Let us know what you guys thought in the comments down below. Do you feel Strange Fake is being rushed? How do you feel about how Gil was taken out in this episode? Let us know all of those thoughts in the comments down below. Until next time, we'll catch you later. Peace.